Hey YouTube, how you doing? Well, God is coming through loud and clear, so we ignore this, then it's on us. But so I'm here to show you a little something. Here's a Jewish preacher. He's a rabbi from Jerusalem, or he's Jewish, and he has one of the original texts in the Hebrew language. His name is Johnathon Cahn. So let's hear what he has to say.
Will happen on Sunday, the 13th of September, 2015. Listen to this video and judge my reasons. God bless you.
The principle in the book, it's called the Isaiah 9:10 effect, that when a nation tries to defy this course of chastening or calamity or judgment without repenting to God, without coming back, everything it does is going to backfire, and it's actually going to bring about the next calamity. Israel, this was the first calamity. It kept coming, another calamity and another, until it was destroyed because they didn't turn back. Well, with America, there was also a second shaking, a second calamity. We saw last time, we left off kind of on Capitol Hill with a vow, the prophecy going forth on the day after 9/11 of this very same ancient vow by the Senate Majority Leader proclaiming it. Well, years later is going to come the next shaking. It's not going to be a strike physically. It's going to be a strike on America's power itself. The very power that underlies America, its financial, economic superpower, is going to collapse. And this is going to happen these are the kind of two big events of the last 10 years. It's going to collapse. And the thing is, this is all linked to this ancient mystery as well, and it's linked to 9/11 as well. And actually, the day that it all collapsed, actually, the day that triggered it all, the government and the Federal Reserve was on Wall Street, and they made a decision. They said, basically, we're going to let this thing fall, this little thing fall, Lehman Brothers. They triggered the whole thing fell because of that. After that, they triggered it. The day they announced it, the day they made that announcement, hey, we're going to do this, was the anniversary of the day that the ancient vow was proclaimed on Capitol Hill the day after 9/11. The day that it was saying, we're coming back stronger, on that anniversary, 7 years to the day, that's when the government made this fateful decision, brought the economic collapse. And there are mysteries that go back to Isaiah and even to Moses, even 3,000 years, that have determined everything that's happened to the days of the crash, the hours that affect everybody's pocketbook and affect the future, everything we're experiencing to this day.
Now, in Judaism, there is an observance. In fact, it's part of the law in which the Lord lays out a 7-year period, Shavua. And then at the end of that, there's a Shemitah year. And the fascinating thing is that ancient Israel failed to keep her Shemitahs. She sinned by not recognizing the Lord's bounty and provision. And you bring that into the Harbinger, I think, in a most effective way.
Well, yeah, the Shemitah. So, yeah, every 7 years it's supposed to be a blessing. I mean, initially, hey, you rest, you don't buy, you don't sow, you don't reap, you don't buy, you don't, and it was supposed to be a blessing. But exactly as you said, they said, no, we're not going to do this. We're driving God out of our life. We'd rather have the money than have the rest with God. Yes. And so they drive it out, and as we know, it comes back at them as judgment, because when they're in captivity, the captivity goes by the number of Shemitah or Sabbath years they didn't keep. That's how the 70 years are from that. So it becomes a sign of judgment. And on the very last day of the Sabbath year or Shemitah comes the final crescendo. It's the day of the Shemitah. That's the day, Elul 29. It's the 29th day of the Hebrew month of Elul, when all the financial account, the credits wiped out, debts wiped out, financial accounts wiped clean of the nation, which would be a good thing. But again, when it rejects God, this comes back as a sign of judgment against a nation that has driven God out of its life, that specifically touches its financial realm. So what would this have to do with America? America is not under a law that we have to observe these things, but as a sign of judgment, of warning of a nation. Here's what happened. The first, keep in mind the 7-year thing. That's the key cycle, 7-year cycle. We see the first shaking is 9/11. Second shaking is the economic collapse. When does it happen? It happens in 2008. So it's 7 years, first of all, to the year. Then when did it happen? It collapsed in September of 2008. 7 years to the month. When exact it was the second week of September. 7 years to the week of the first collapse is when the second one came. And actually, when America was observing 9/11 commemoration on that day, the second calamity was being set in motion in Wall Street. So you got the 7-year thing going on. But then it gets even more like exact, because what was the greatest day of this crash that we all witnessed? The greatest day, it happened at the end of September 2008. It was the greatest stock market crash in the history of America. It crashed over 700 points, and there was nothing ever like it. The beginning of that day, they're ringing the bell of Wall Street. It would not ring. They took it as an omen. It would not make a sound. And so when did that happen? The greatest collapse in American history? It happened on the 29th day of Elul, the exact biblical day appointed to strike a nation's financial realm and that to wipe out the credit and debt, the exact day that it did. And that brought the...
Okay, notice, fall of the stock market, the drop of 777.7. Just for your information, 3 sevens is the sign of God. Just like 3 sixes is Satan's number, God's number is 3 sevens.
Great recession, and we're going to see if we come back, it's even more amazing. And it's happening exactly. I mean, even this, I mean, that exact day when you have to wipe out the financial accounts under the Shemitah, it closes at sunset. They finish in late afternoon. The stock market finishes in late afternoon. It's even to the hour, and it didn't just happen once, we're going to see, but it's amazing and it's uncanny. This mystery that we spoke of, and we have this exact day, the exact wiping of America's account. Go back now 7 years before. It's a 7-year cycle. So go back 7 years from that crash. What happens? It brings you to September 2001. We have 9/11. Have something else. We have the other greatest crash in American history up to that day. Just happened to happen 7 years before that. And when did it happen? It happened September 17th, 2001. It actually was caused by 9/11. And so what, on the Hebrew calendar, because the Shemitah is not a Western calendar, it's the Shemitah, it's the Hebrew calendar. So what happens if we go there? The other greatest crash in American history up to that day happened on the exact same biblical day appointed to judge a nation's financial accounts, to wipe away, which it did again, happened on the 29th of Elul, the exact... So both the two greatest crashes, I mean, it's mind-boggling, the two greatest crashes in American history up to those days, both happened exactly 7 years apart on the exact Hebrew biblical day, strike about a nation that has driven God out of its life. And they both happened exactly 7 years apart to the Hebrew day and to the...
This is pretty scary. I'm going to go ahead and get a video of Mr. Cahn and post it along on my channel so you guys can watch the full length. But this is like exceptionally weird. It's the way he breaks it down. I mean, he just lays it out there. There's one video that's pretty big. It's large and it's in front of the people in Washington. So we can expect based on what he's saying, because I've never heard this before ever in my entire life. The Shemitah, I don't know what that is, but that just goes to show you how they altered the Bible. You know, just like it appears that they took out the book of Enoch. It references the book of Enoch, but if you look in these modern day translations, it's not there. You know, because it reveals a lot about how Satan and the minions are plotting against, you know, humanity, and how they got kicked out of the heavens and things of that nature. So it's quite possible that, you know, that we're trying to read the Bible, but there's a lot of missing things from there, and they're deliberately keeping it from us. But you know, God is providing all of the truths if we care to seek His face and to seek out the truth. Anyway, I just wanted to make this short video, and this is it's called the Shemitah, and the rabbi is Johnathon Cahn. So we can expect, based on the Shemitah, 9/13/2015, most likely that'll collapse the dollar. So if anybody's got any type of finances, you better turn them into gold and silver or do something about it, you know, and try to prepare yourself, because it could get pretty nasty after September. Anyway, this is Real Talk. I thought you guys should know this. I'll catch up to you guys next time.